Today we're going to be looking at Mega Charizard X and thinking about what that deck list might look like when Phantasmal Flames finally releases. Now today it's going to be a lot of speculation and I want you guys to join in the comments below. Do you agree with some of these choices? And can you think of any other combos that I may have missed? If there's one thing I really enjoy, it's hearing how different people have cooked up some different ideas for deck lists. And it's great to hear of combos that I haven't even thought of before. So that's enough talking about the speculation. Let's get straight into the idea for the deck list. First of all, we'll probably be running 4 of these Charmanders here. Now, the original one came out in 151, but this is the Paldean Fates version. There might be a new Charmander that's released in Phantasmal Flames, but for now, we'll probably be running 4 of these ones. Then we'll probably be running either like 2 or 1 of these Charmeleons. Now, I like this Charmeleon because it's got the Flame Veil ability, which means that you prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponents done to this Pokemon. And what's really good about this is it's caught a few people out in the past when I've been in tournaments where people have used Dragapult's Phantom Dive and they tried to put the damage counters on Charmeleon, but it doesn't work because of the Flame Veil. Or Grimmsnarl EX has tried before doing damage to the bench, and because of that Flame Veil it protects Charmeleon. So he's probably going to be a good call unless a new Charmeleon has an even stronger ability. Then we'll have the star of the show. We'll probably be running around 2 copies of this, I reckon. Mega Charizard X EX. With that amazing Infernal X attack. What you have to do is discard any amount of fire energy from among your Pokemon, and this attack does 90 damage for each card you discard in this way. He's essentially a very strong version of Raging Bolt, which means if you discard 4 fire energies in this way, this card is doing 360 damage. Mega Charizard X can knock out anything in the game for just 4 energy. It's incredible, and having 360 HP himself makes him incredibly difficult to knock out. So I think Mega Charizard X is going to be absolutely cooking up a storm in the meta. When this thing comes out, I can imagine a lot of people are going to try running it. And I think it also just proves that Pokemon might have a little bit of bias towards a certain orange starter Pokemon, but it's great to see one of the OG Pokemon still cooking up an absolute storm in the meta. Now we're going to be teaming up Mega Charizard with the terrestrialized Charizard EX. Now why we're doing that is because of Infernal Rain, because that allows us to search our deck for 3 fire energies and attach them to our Pokemon in any way we like. So we can actually use Charizard, this version here, to power up our other one by already putting 3 energies onto the board that Mega Charizard can then use to do either 270 damage or, if you can get another one down, 360 damage, which is incredible. And I also think that this terrestrialized version will be really useful in the late game, because this one only gets stronger with that amazing Burning Darkness attack. So it does 180 damage, plus 30 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, which means that Mega Charizard X can come in at the beginning and absolutely start one-shotting Pokemon, and then near the end of the game this could be your late game sweeper. And then another new card that was revealed, we will be wanting to run Oricorio EX with that amazing ability Excited Turbo. As often as you like during your turn, if you have any Mega Evolution Pokemon EX in play, you may use this ability. Attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your benched fire Pokemon. So the only problem with this ability is you definitely have to have Mega Charizard actually in play to use it. But once you've got it in play, you can then attach as many fire energy a turn as you want, which makes Oricorio a perfect match for Mega Charizard. So I think Oricorio to allow you to attach as many from your hand as possible with that terrestrialized Charizard, so you can get that energy from your deck straight on the board. I think it's quite a dangerous combo, especially to start off with, which I'm particularly looking forward to. Now here's one which might be dropped, but you might use a Chi-Yu. At the minute it's a great little revenge killer in Charizard EX decks, but possibly that first attack, that Flare Bringer, lets you attach 2 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So this could potentially power up your Charizard after he's already discarded the energy earlier. Or you can use the Mega Fire of Envy, which does 50 plus, 90 more damage if any of your Pokemon were knocked out. And I have included the Pidgeot EX line here, and I've chosen the Pidgeotto with free retreat. And why I've chosen this is because Pidgeot EX is so useful in Charizard EX at the moment, because of that quick search ability, which means once per turn we can search our deck for any card we want. So we can find the supporter we need, or the Mega Charizard, so we can evolve our Charmeleons. Such a strong draw engine, this card, which is why I've included it. Being a stage 2, might prevent us in the future if something a little bit more useful comes up. But for now, Pidgeot EX I think is a great inclusion. Then a firm staple in most decks, we've got Pheasantipity EX with that amazing flip the script ability. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you get to draw 3 cards. And then we have another little draw engine. We've got Cleffer here with that grasping draw, which allows us to draw cards, so we have 7 in our hand. And I think this is a great little card that we can include just to help us again as a draw engine. And the other day I was opening up Black Bolt and White Flare and I looked at Ember and I thought actually this could be quite useful in a Mega Charizard deck. It's a very similar ability to Oricorio EX, except for a little bit stronger because you don't need a Mega in play. Now the thing holding this back is that you'll need a Tepig, a Pignite and an Ember in your deck, which means 3 cards are taking up the space of 1. So this might get dropped, but I think it's worth definitely talking about. And I'll let you guys decide. Do you think, would you run Ember, or is it just too many pieces to the puzzle for this? You're just sticking with Oricorio. Then let's talk about some supporters that we'll probably be using. First up, we'll probably be definitely using Arven, so we can search for an item and a tool. We'll be using some Iono for a bit of hand disruption to our opponent. And one card I haven't packed yet, and it's incredibly funny because this ordinary trainer card is about £5 at the minute in the UK. And loads of us at my locals have not packed this yet. I think there's only 2 people with a copy of it, and it's Hilda. Now what Hilda does is you get to search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card. You can reveal them and put them into your hand, then you shuffle your deck. Now this is going to be an incredibly useful card, especially in Mega Charizard EX, because with this you could use it to grab yourself a Charizard EX, and then you could put that down, and Charizard EX will generate 3 energy straight from your deck, and Hilda's already got you one, which means your Mega Charizard is already hitting for 360 damage, which is incredible. Or you can do it the other way, you can use it to get the Mega Charizard, or you could use it to get the Pidgeot. Then, if you haven't got a Hilda, like me, you might use a copy of Brock Scouting, which lets you search for either 2 basic Pokemon, or 1 evolution. Or you could use Jark, which allows you to look for 2 evolution Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand. And I thought this is actually going to be quite a good idea. Professor Churro Scenario. Now what this does is you get to put one of the Pokemon in play into your hand, and then all the cards attached to it get discarded. But I thought if your Mega Charizard EX is worth 3 prizes, this would be an amazing card to use on it, because you can just scoop up that 3 prizer, especially if you've used up all the energy already on your turn, and you've discarded it off the Mega Charizard, and if he's taken a big hit, you can then scoop him up, and then your opponent can't get the 3 prizes for knocking that out. We'll be using definitely a copy of Boss's Orders, so we can gust up one of our opponent's bench Pokemon, so we can sort of map out the prize race. A very important staple, we'll definitely be using some Buddy Buddy Poffins. This lets us search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon, and in this case we'll be grabbing some Charmanders or some Pidgeys. We'll be using a TM Evo, so we can evolve our Charmanders into Charmeleons and our Pidgeys into Pidgeotos. We'll probably be running a counter catcher, especially if we start with Cleffer. It'll draw us up to 7 and it's probably going to get knocked out the turn after, and this deck doesn't mind going behind on prizes, so counter catcher will be a great way of gusting up our opponent's Pokemon without using a supporter. We'll most likely be using a copy of Night Stretcher, so we can put either a basic energy back into our hand or a Pokemon. Every deck needs an Ultra Ball, so we can discard 2 cards and get any Pokemon we need from our deck. We'll be using some rare candy, so we can skip either Charmeleons and go Charmander straight to Mega Charizard, or Charmander straight into Charizard EX, or Pidgey straight into Pidgeot. We'll be running some Super Rods, so we can shuffle a combination of either 3 Pokemon, 3 energy, or a combination of both. We'll be running some Nest Balls, so we can either get into our Fez, or into some Charmanders. And then for Ace Spec, I was thinking the Unfair Stab would probably be rather nice, so we can, if our opponent's knocked out one of our Pokemon, we then shuffle our hand into our deck, and so do they, and they only get 2 cards, but we get 5. Or, you might like the Prime Catcher, so you and your opponent both swap your active Pokemon, but you get to choose your opponents. And another ace bet you might want to use is Secret Box. Very, very useful in most decks at the moment. Let me take out the sleeve for you. And what Secret Box does, you have to discard 3 cards, and then what you do is you get to search your deck for an item card, a Pokemon tool, a supporter and a stadium. You get to reveal them and put them into your hand. And one that I couldn't find but I have got somewhere is Maximum Belt, which allows your active Pokemon to do 50 extra damage. Now, Mega Charizard EX doesn't technically need the maximum belt, but if you use it, it might allow you to use less fire energies, or you can use it on your Charizard EX, the Terra version, so that he's doing even more damage. And those are my ideas so far for the Mega Charizard X deck. Let me know what you thought down below, and if you liked today's video, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe down below, and tell me which cards would you add to the Mega Charizard X deck. Are you looking forward to the Phantasmal Flames release? I know I am, and make sure you do share your deck building ideas in the comment section. Thanks again for watching, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you and good night.